in a house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. In the kingdom of love, there is no competition, no contradiction, and no control. But you can take possession and claim your passion, working on a building that cannot be on a soul. Living in a house of a soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in a house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Step into the feeling of sweet surrender. Let your self remember just who you are. But you can take your own sweet time and ease your troubled mind in the secret sanctuary of the heart. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. There is room for all the kindness you can hold, and you know you can take it with you wherever you go. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Good morning. Good morning.
Better? No. There it is. There it is. Okay, usually I've got a big enough mouth that people can hear me. So, but at any rate, I'd like to welcome you this morning. My name's Pauletta Raines, and I'd like to introduce the other folks who will be participating in the service this morning. We have Huron Bro, who is inspiring us with his music. Eleanor Ferris will be sharing the meditation and the affirmations. Our spiritual leader, Samantha Jones, will be sharing the message. And supporting all of us will be Jessica on video and Brian in the sound booth. And boy, am I echoing. I don't know. Shall we turn it off? Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find the right button. Okay, we're on now. All right then. Well, we would certainly, again, we welcome you. And we'd like to share with you some of our beliefs and our spiritual transformation. In this church, Charles Fillmore, he was one of the co-founders of the Unity movement. I'll get it here in a minute. I was distracted for a moment. Go ahead and play, darling. That'll help. Anyway, he determined that there were 12 powers that each of us possess. And each month we celebrate one of those powers. So in August we celebrate the power of the will. Will is defined as the ability to choose, to decide, to determine a course of action. We all use it every day, right? So we try to empower ourselves by using that in the most positive way that we can. The mission statement for Unity of Wichita, if you will use your power of will and join me in repeating it, to inspire spiritual transformation as a vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community. And how do we do that? We do that by recognizing our own statement of being. And if you will repeat it with me together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe, in my life and in the universe. God the good, omnipotent. Okay, now that I have bumbled my way through this, I will tell you that this is the time, if you haven't done so already, that you could silence your cell phones as we welcome our first-time visitors to Unity. We have a gift for you. If you're here in person in the sanctuary, you can look in the seats in front of you. On the back of the seats, there is a large envelope this size, and there are some special materials in there for you to take home and review at your leisure. If you're a live stream guest, you can scan the QR code on the screen, and then that will signal us to send you a packet. On the front of the packet, there's a connection form. If you would like to stay in touch with us about events that we have that are ongoing throughout the week, or even new events that are coming up in the future, we invite you to fill out that information and get it back to us. If you're here in the sanctuary, you can just put it in the offering plate as it comes around later, because your presence here today is your gift to us. Okay. To tell you a little bit about Unity, Unity is a worldwide movement dedicated to the ongoing awareness of the Spirit within all of us. We invite you to consider our teachings, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, see how it fits into your life, and take what you like and gently release the rest. Let's offer a blessing for one another here in the sanctuary and at home.
Pauletta, she's doing such a beautiful job. Thank you. It's not easy to jump into something new.
I haven't done this for a long time.
And you're doing beautifully. So let's hold one another in consciousness as we raise our hands, sending a blessing. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you, just as you are. Thank you, Pauletta. Good morning. My goodness, what a beautiful day. I heard the news anchor say that it's the day that you can wear the air. It's hot and humid. And that humidity reminds us that we are present in this day. We are present in this moment and in our lives. So as we hold that presence, I invite you to bring forward your own prayer requests within your heart and mind as we gather together in consciousness in the sacred act of prayer. We call upon the divine awareness within our own hearts and minds and every space around us. The omnipotence of God. God is present in all beings that we encounter, in every situation, circumstance, and moment. We hold this in our awareness within our hearts and minds, and some days we can feel it. We can feel it in our bodies. That love, life, blessing, and deepening awareness that we are, in fact, one with the one. And it is from this awareness that we center in on those sacred prayers that we're holding within our hearts. Those sacred prayers that support our individual lives, our community, affirming peace and love in the world. We are one with the one. And we are so very grateful. And in the name and the nature of the very Christ that we know, we say together, and so it is. Amen.
Some say the answers I seek are found on my knees, but I listen inside to the whisper, I'm all that I need, and my heart is open wide. My heart is open wide. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and I am that. I am that. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that. I am that. All that's good. All that's good.
Good morning. My name is Eleanor Ferris, and one of the practical tools we offer within Unity is that of meditation. There are so many forms, so many comforts, as many ways for meditation to move in you as there are us. And so, as we enter into our meditation, we'll start with our affirmations and give ourselves an intention, okay? God is oneness. God is all that is. We are one with God. I invite you to get comfortable in your chair, as this is such a personal experience. Relax your shoulders, your knees, your ears. Surrender to the comfort in this space. I invite you to close your eyes as we enter into our power of imagination. Imagine an animal in your lap. Any animal. Any animal. For God is all that is, and we are one with God. Breathe with it. Maybe it's a pet, maybe it's a bird that in practical life you wouldn't be able to snuggle with. Let yourself snuggle with the turtle. Be comforted through the glass with the fish. Look on in shared glory at the crocodile. For God is all that is, and we are one with God. I invite you now to please pull forth the memory of an animal that was significant in your life. Your pet, a friend or family member's pet, or maybe it was the neighbor pet. Regardless of size, age, perceived limitations, let that pet be a lap pet. Our eyes are closed, so relax into this. Hold your pet in the safety and comfort of the memory. Remember the energy. Maybe pet your pet in your lap. For God is all there is. And we are one with God. One force, one energy, energy that cannot disappear. There is no judgment in God or from your furry friend. There is no lack in God or source or force or power or energy. No limitation of love. And your furry friend can know no limitation of love in its natural joy. There is no lack possible in the consciousness of your furry friend, save for its perceived absence of you. We need each other, we grow together, and it's not all people-y. For God is all that is. We are one with God, with the furry friends, with the animals around us, with the animals that built our soil. With the animals that occupy our imagination. Dragons and unicorns. Bring it all forth. And be inspired by their ability to surrender. Surrender to their joy and express their joy, their limitless joy. The rainbow in the Bible is God's promise. And the rainbow bridge is a phrase commonly used for when an animal or a pet passes. But did its promise of limitless love for you go away? Did its promise to greet you and love you, its promise to trust you, it went nowhere. And the rainbow inspires us of the promises of love, limitless energy, and of God, all that is. I invite you now to gently release your pet, the animal. Let it go from your lap, and we can imagine them all playing as we come back to this room, this space, this joy that again cannot go anywhere except to reverberate. And so in the name and the nature of the Christ within all beings, we say together, and so it is. Amen.
All is for me. that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good. All that's good. All that's good.
All that's good. Oh, we're all settled in now, aren't we? Soothed and comforted by the idea of that unconditional love that was presented in that meditation. But you know, if you had pets or have pets right now, you know that that soothing calmness only lasts as long as it takes for someone to walk by the front window. Right? Today, we are talking about Over the Rainbow. And we're not talking about Dorothy or tornadoes. We are, in fact, talking about Toto. Today is Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. And I had not even heard of the Rainbow Bridge until just recently. And that's when I discovered that this idea of the Rainbow Bridge was originated in a prose back in the early 1900s. And it was all about this unconditional love that our pets, our animals, and our lives express, and that we receive, and that we learn from. And when they make their transitions from this physical plane, where do they go? You know, I remember when I was a kid, I asked the priest, did dogs go to heaven? Because that movie had just come out. All dogs go to heaven. And they said, no, dogs don't go to heaven. And I have to tell you that in my little girl brain and body and heart, I was shattered. Because my dog, growing up, her name was Gretchen. She was this glorious, black, long-eared Doberman Pinscher. And everyone was afraid of her. But when I would sit on her back, when I was quite small, and I would poke her in her eyes and pull on her lips to inspect her teeth, and really probably be quite torturous. Instead of being mean or cruel, what she would do is simply take her mouth that I had just carefully inspected, grab my hand, and drop it. And I would do it again and again until she would finally get frustrated and just stand up and plop me off onto the floor and walk away. Like a true mother. Mom, 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 mom. And whenever I was afraid of the thunderstorms or the bumps in the night, I would go into her bed, this scratchy blue plaid blanket was there that she loved, and I hated it, but I endured it because she made me feel safe. And the day that we had to make the decision to let her go was so hard, because not only was I losing this, what I didn't know at the time, but I know now, perfect example of what it must be to be in perfect alignment with your own Christ experience, in that perfect alignment with God. Constant, unconditional love, constant compassion, constant communication of worth and awareness that you are all that I am here to celebrate and serve. All of those feelings I was letting go of willingly with my family. So when I heard that there was no place for dogs and cats and fish and birds and snakes and lizards to go, I was shattered. So when I saw this Rainbow Bridge poem, I thought, of course, that's what it is. And it is this space just outside of heaven, they say. So we have to kind of go back to these ideas that heaven's up there and out there, and that we're separate, which isn't really unity, but because we're unity, we can see it and move through it. We're in control of our thoughts. And this poem illustrates these animals going here, crossing this bridge in this limbo status, waiting to be reconnected with their beloveds. And where we, as the beloveds, can wait to be connected to our own beloveds within the animal kingdom. So why, you might be wondering, why are we talking about this for a whole Sunday? There are so many times that I have learned more about my humanity from my pets than I ever did just living in my body and in this experience. And that's because there is this infinite compassion, this compassion and endless love that is so tender, and it guides us through life's unkindness. Our pets see us for our true nature. I'm sure that Gretchen could have walked away from me and never returned, because that girl, she pokes me in the eyes. But instead, she kept coming back because she knew that this person was the space of care. This person fed me hot dogs when she wasn't supposed to. This person makes sure that there's water and a safe space. You see, I think that as we care for animals, we are in turn learning how to care for ourselves and our own hearts and one another, because we don't get any monetary response unless of course you're a breeder of some kind or on the show circuits, and then that's a lot of work. But the average person is getting this new story every day. This new story of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here, when you walk into your little puppy or your dog. Sometimes, if you're a cat owner, you get woken up to a massage at 1 a.m. for no reason. Or a dead mouse on your pillow. That happened to me once. But in that gift that cat gave me was all the love, admiration, joy, and excitement, because that was a gift for me from her. That's pretty special when we think about that. We allow ourselves to experience life. We get caught up in social media, TV shows, newspaper articles, politics, the traffic, all of these things happening around us. And we have the opportunity to look for examples of transcending all of that and returning to the main core of our being, which is that true spiritual being in this physical experience, right? And so here are these outward examples of that happening again and again and again as we care for and experience the animal kingdom. So I want to share this story with you. My grandmother and my grandfather lived in this small town called Fowler, Kansas. It's out in western Kansas. It's really small. You can walk across it from end to end in 5 minutes with little girl legs. I remember timing it. So it's quite small. There are 2 things in Fowler, Kansas. There's a swimming pool and a nursing home. And they're right next door to each other as well. Well, my grandmother was a nurse, and she and my grandfather had a farm, and he used pesticides and herbicides as one would on a farm, and he eventually developed neurological side effects, and he became paralyzed. So he was in the nursing home quite early in life, and my grandmother very lovingly and religiously would go every morning, every day after lunch, and every day for dinner, every single day. She left her home that they had built together and would go to the nursing home and visit him. And I don't know how many nursing homes you've been in, but they're not always pleasant places. And this one was similar. But there was this wonderful thing about this nursing home, because it was in a small town, you could bring your pets. And my grandmother decided that she needed a new dog because she just didn't have enough to do going back and forth to the nursing home every day. And she found a breeder that was selling dogs, and she went to go look at them. They were all very cute and lovely and sweet. And then there was one way back there. She said, "What's that one?" And the breeder said, "That's the runt. He's too ugly. Can't sell him. You want him?" She said, "Sure, I would love to take him." So she gets the dog and she takes him home and she names him McGregor. And that day she takes the dog to the nursing home to meet my grandfather. And my grandfather leans up as he could only, and he said, "Ugh, take it back. Too ugly." It was an ugly dog. But I want to tell you something. That dog, McGregor, lived with my grandmother as she went through the loss of her husband, the loss of something to do 3 times a day, the loss of someone to care for, the loss of her home as she chose to move, this home that she had built with her husband. When I was a child, it seemed like the biggest house in the world. And she left it, she sold it, and moved to the big city, to Wichita, Kansas. And McGregor went with her through all of this. And you see, she often fed the dog better than she herself ate. Steak and rice and beans and green beans and fish oil, and she would have toast. They had developed their own language. She would pull out a treat. Nope, not that one. Try another. And she would go through the series of 5 or 6 or 7 different kinds of treats until finally he would go, and that was the one. When he made his transition, she wept for a whole month. She swore till the day that she died that she saw him coming around the corner in the house. I know he was there. And so we ask ourselves, what do we do when we lose a pet? It's just a pet, right? You get another one. Maybe you feel silly and you just go to work after all because, well, you've got stuff to do, and it was just a dog or a cat or a fish or a lizard. But I would like to invite us to allow ourselves the time and space to recognize that these pets, these sentient beings that live this life beside us, that demonstrate tenderness, compassion, love, and grace, and above all, forgiveness. They are our teachers in such powerful ways that as we navigate this world with them, we don't realize it until they're gone. So I invite you to join me in honoring the pets from Unity of Wichita. Several people sent in pictures of their beloved pets that have passed on. And I want to warn you, the music isn't what you would expect. It's a little upbeat. And the reason why I chose this song is because it is all about compassion. And for every word that you hear, I invite you to invoke the vision of your beloved friend who spoke to you, loved you, cared for you in the night, and even left mice on your pillow. Thank you.
Grateful for your tenderness. Life can feel unkind. I'm grateful for the way you see when I'm stuck inside my mind. Grateful for your courage to hold your steady ground. I'm grateful for compassion when mine cannot be found. Compassion when broken hearts bleed. Sweet compassion when my soul's in need. For friends and enemies, grace abounds. I'm grateful when you take my hand and you turn my head around. Grateful for the healing and warmth of your embrace. I'm grateful for compassion to touch a deeper place. Oh, compassion when broken hearts bleed. Compassion, sweet compassion. Sweet compassion when my soul's in need. Compassion, sweet compassion. I find compassion for friends and enemies. Compassion, sweet compassion. My own compassion is where my spirit breathes. Compassion, sweet compassion. Yes, make me, mold me, shape me, shift me to all that I can be, that I may express your endless compassion. Oh, it's what I'm meant to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Compassion when broken hearts bleed. Compassion, sweet compassion. Oh, sweet, 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 sweet compassion when my soul's in need. Compassion, sweet compassion. I find compassion for friends and enemies. Compassion, sweet compassion. My own compassion is where my spirit breathes. Compassion, sweet compassion.
Compassion is where my spirit breathes. We know more about humanity through our experience with animals again and again. And I know that our compassion grows every opportunity we have to be and honor and love all those animals throughout our lives that demonstrate the unconditional love of God. And so it is. Amen.
Would the ushers please come forward? This is the time when those of us who consider Unity our spiritual home put our financial future in God's hands and give as we are led. So we will make our offerings as we choose. In whatever amount that you choose to give, I invite you to hold it next to your heart and bless it with a little love before you drop it in the collection plate. If you are watching this service online, we invite you to click the link that's in the chat box, and that will give you the opportunity to give as you choose. So, I forgot the next part, Samantha. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, good, it's on the wall. Good. Okay, let's say our blessing together. Divine love, flowing from me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Cry together. You said it didn't matter, for God would always take care. taught me how to live and to give. And when giving seemed to be too hard, the benefit of your love is now my reward. And I'll always love you for the special times we share, for the times you showed me just how much you cared for me. I'll always love you. You were a friend that I could totally depend on. I love you. You're forever with me.
And so together we receive these blessings, these tithes and offerings as the community, Unity of Wichita. Together we receive and together we give as we support the vision, the mission of this spiritual community to inspire spiritual transformation as we go forward in supporting, loving, and empowering our community. We say together, and so it is. Amen. And at this time, we get to invite Mr. Wayne Donner, the president of the board, to come share in announcements.
Good morning. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see, beginning September 1st, which is Thursday, through September 8th, which is the Unity's World Day of Prayer, there will be morning prayer time via Zoom at 9:30 in honor of Unity's World Day of Prayer. And then we will have a candlelight service on September the 8th at 7 p.m. In connection with Unity's World Day of Prayer. So that begins this Thursday. The Wichita Pride Festival is Sunday, September 25th. We need folks who would like to step up to the opportunity to participate, to help represent Unity of Wichita, to help make goodie bags, decorate, and create a theme for our location at the Pride Festival and represent Unity of Wichita. Next week, next Sunday, will be the first Sunday in September, so we will be having our potluck luncheon, so please bring a dish and lend a hand. I think the last announcement, I think word has maybe filtered out somewhat. But today is Kelly McFarland's last day as the director of the youth organization. Kelly has decided to step away for that, from that position, and we certainly would like to thank Kelly for her many, many years of service with our youth. Going forward, the youth group will be, handle's not a right word, but will be supported by a group of volunteers, which will include Kelly moving forward. But those volunteers will be Judith Huffman, Vicki Howard, Wilma Moore Black, Chris Neal, and Bob Tutt. And I almost said speaking of the devil, but that would not be maybe correct. I meant it as a group, not you, Kelly. So, here it be.
Well,
Night.
I I
Nice
would like
hat,
to
kid.
say something. Kelly McFarland has served this community for the last 8 years and leading the youth department, and she has done such a magnificent job. Knowing that my son comes home with the knowledge, the words, and the ideas that he does, supported and brought forth by Kelly, is nothing short of comfort on an unimaginable level. So I want to thank Kelly so much for all of your dedication and your heart. That's absolutely appropriate, Jordan. Let's give her a round of applause. And so, in true Unity fashion, we're going to bless Kelly and the youth department as we see them moving forward in grace and joy. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you, just as you are. And so I'd like to invite you to stand as we share in our prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. We are filled with love and joy today. Thank you. All right. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Perfect harmony. Oh, let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.